Hey guys, Jonathan Munsell, giving a quick shout out. Wanted to say hello, good morning, and I wanted to share a wonderful tip for you. If you don't already do this, you absolutely have to. But you need to have a good morning routine. And I call it my first hour, and I have a list of things. There's 5 things I do, in my first hour as I get going. And as I pull up here to the office, I'll pull it up for you guys. You guys can actually see it. You can check it out. Just give me 1 second here, and I'll get that for you. Okay, let's keep it rolling. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. A couple different things that I want you guys to check out. We'll start back here. So as I was saying, I have this whole thing where I do like my first 5. So I get up in the morning, literally jump out of bed, and I bang out 10 or 20 reps of something, usually push-ups. And that is just to get the blood flowing, get everything moving, and get my day going. Then I write my goals. Okay, so every day I write my goals. One of the biggest strategies I could ever teach you is to actually write your goals every day. I'm a digital guy, but I write them actually. These are my goals, and then this is part of my plan for the day. So I still write a lot of stuff down physically, and I'm going to show you some digital tools real quick. I have a whole appreciation exercise where I go through and I think you need to appreciate where you are. I think you need to recognize things about yourself that are working and things that aren't. And, you can appreciate things, even the littlest things you need to do. And I'll show you what that is. It's down here. So this thing right here is a template that I have. It's very simple. It's something I built, and then I basically gutted it, and it lives in, I use Evernote, and I can pop this up and create a new one each day. But down here, there's some of this appreciation stuff I was talking about, some daily affirmations and things that I do. You got to get your mind right. So, later on today, I'm doing a webinar about what I call the simple plan. It's one of the biggest things that I talk to people about is, what they need to do sequentially in their business to be successful. So later on today, I'm actually going to do a webinar where I'm going to share all of that information with everybody. And I'm just going to literally walk you through the basics of the plan. And it has to do with getting your head straight. It has to do with making sure you're successful with your finances, your operations, and your marketing, and putting all that together. But this today right here is about having a routine. So, I talk about, so I get up, I do, 20 reps. I do goal setting right off the bat, write down, I start writing first thing in the morning. You're fresh, your mind's good. At night, your mind resolves things. If you go to bed thinking about stuff, in the morning you wake up and you're like, oh my goodness. So I do that. I always meditate or work out. I either chill and just think and breathe. I have certain breathing things that get you in the right frame, or I work out full on, go out, and you see me sometimes I'm walking the dog and doing different things. And then nutrition, you got to get food in you. You got to make sure you fuel your body. Very, very important. So this is my first 5 every day that I do. But if you look, I have a pretty organized day and structure. Between 6 and 9 in the morning every day, I do A-level tasks. My highest level, most important things I do by 9 o'clock. I get them off the list, and then I can focus on the rest of the day, and I can work on things, and I block time. I'm going to show you some time blocking. I always have calls and emails, and I always have a starter thought. What did I wake up, and what was my inspiration for today that got me going? We all have a to-do list and things that we have to get done. Here's a little bit of the workout. I'm actually a P90X guy. P90X3, it's faster. I've done P90X1. I track food. I track my calories. I track my water. I have thoughts at the end of the day, and then I have this whole appreciation exercise. And I always write down what I'm grateful for. I always write down what would make today great. I have affirmations about myself and my business. And then before I go to bed, I have a routine where 3 amazing things that happened today. And it's just really getting this stuff down on paper. I speak to a lot of people. I have great conversations. So I like to get that stuff out. And then, how could I have done better? And God, if you get into a routine of doing that every day, you will be phenomenally successful. I believe in having goals. I talked about that. When I go here and I show you, I have goals. I have big goals. So if you look, they're broken up into a couple different things. Number 1, to be cancer-free, do whatever it takes to stay that way. So if you don't know this, I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. I had a mass as big as my fist inside of my abdomen. It was my liver, my spleen, my bones. And thank God for UNC. They pickled me and gave me chemo and all this crap. But basically, I focus a lot on making sure that I'm healthy. So I have, I talk about being in great shape. And I write these things down. When you write a goal, it needs to be stated in the now. I am in great shape. And if you're working on something, if you're trying to complete something, you need to write it in. I have this by when. A goal needs to be time-based. So if you look at this, this is actually old stuff here. Kind of funny if you can't see the screen. It talks about my weight. And at the time, I wanted to be at 180 pounds. And, these are old, right? So in December of 2016, I was at 200 pounds. In April, I was at 196, but my goal was to get down to 180. Right now, I weigh 174 pounds, lean and mean. So I accomplished that goal, but I accomplished that goal because I wrote it every day and I did certain things around that. Financial freedom. We all want financial freedom. I got a whole bunch of stuff back here that are on the list of things that I do. I have personal goals, right? I want to be self-disciplined. Most of you probably would think that I have some good discipline. The reality is the most disciplined people in the world think that they don't have enough and they continually work on it. I work to reduce stress. I maintain realistic, manageable timelines. Lots of stuff about family success, right? I want to provide fantastic life for my boys, millions of dollars in the bank so we don't ever have to worry about anything. And my big goal this year is that I take 4 real vacations. I want to take 4 weeks at least, and at least 2 of those weeks are going to be together. I contribute to charities all the time, and that's one of the things that I write down every single day. And then I have a goal of having a nice new home. So I focus on that every single day. Those are written right here in my pen every single day. But the reality is, you need to so check this out. I wanted to show you guys a little bit about time blocking. So if you're not doing this, you have to structure your day in such a way that you block time. So this is an example of a Google Calendar that's really blocked. And this is a template. Then, you add in, this is where it starts, and then it ultimately becomes this, which is where I start plugging in appointments and stuff. So there's different things and different color codes on here that help me keep organized. But the reality, and it goes back to this, a digital calendar, it's great for documenting and having, the plan. But the reality is I write this stuff down physically. I actually journal and write down my plan as I go through the day. You can't keep up with the computer. You can't keep up with the phone. It's ironically, I even have, here's my wallet. And in my wallet, I have an old school day timer. This is literally Daytimer brand, and it's a tabbed thing. I can flip to any date in my book. I carry that in my pocket every day and have for years. So another strategy that you need to do and look at. So we talked about daily planning and a daily routine. We talked about mapping out your week and blocking time. One of the things you also should look at is, I have a master to-do grid. This one happens to be for the detail world. And this is, what a day looks like. Here's Monday, in that world, Tuesday, we got to get all this stuff done. And if you look, it's like to-do grid. Britt was an old assistant that did scheduling for me. And this is like her plan. And, I even have one, here's one for, restaurants, even got more stuff on it. But if you look, there's things you do every day. There's things that you do every week, right? So here's weekly stuff. There's things you have to do every month, right? Inventory, financials, things like that, right? There's the end of the period, and there's the, what we're going to do quarterly, so we can make sure that we just keep this thing rolling. And I even have, I even explain it to people. This is a detailed list. Every single item on here, every little thing has an explanation behind it about what it is and why we do it. So if you don't have these tools, I'll make these available to everyone, member, not member of any of my programs. So I'll put a download link here, but you guys should absolutely take some of this stuff, get this stuff working in your business, take the shortcut, use what I got. I'm happy to give it to you. I just want to see people, as we get to the end of the year, I come inside, my hands are cold. It's 40 something degrees right now in North Carolina. It's like, oh, as I think about that, it's like it's becoming winter, right? It's the time is going to change, and that always freaks me out. I hate it. I hate when it gets dark early. I wake up and it's dark, and I get home from work and it's dark. So this is the time of year though that we can finish strong. I've been talking about that a lot. finish strong. This is where we take the end of the year and we make sure that we get everything done that we can. This is the big push. And then we roll into next year with new goals, new objectives, new energy. But this thing never stops. This is a machine that you're building, and your life and your business in some ways are tied together, but they need to work together. They need to be planned out. They need to be organized, and they need to accomplish your goals of getting whatever you want. That's what it's about. So I hope you enjoyed this. Go grab the downloads, and I'll leave a link if you guys want to see the full plan of how you plan your entire, from the beginning to end of your business, no matter where you are in your business. If you want to learn that, come to the webinar later on that I'm going to do. Love to have you there. Love to share it with you. And I'll give you away the simple plan as well if you're on that webinar later on today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Kick some ass and go make some money, will you?